Hey folks, this is Keough here with a new training video for you, and in this session I'm going to do a little squatting, I'm going to do a little deadlifting, and I'm going to do a little bench pressing. And the footage that you're going to see actually takes place over the course of two training sessions, a Tuesday session and a Wednesday session, and tomorrow I have a scheduled day off and I'm not going to go in and train because it's Thanksgiving, so I guess without saying anything else, let me just say in advance, happy Thanksgiving to anybody who happens to watch this video. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you have a good time. I hope you surround yourself with good people and you remember to be thankful for having those good people in your lives. I'm going to be celebrating it back home with my fiance because I'm engaged now, and also three teammates and friends of mine from my powerlifting team. She and I are going to cook our first Thanksgiving dinner, which is exciting and terrifying in equal parts. And hopefully that will all go smoothly, and I won't die in a horrible fire. So anyway, I did 415 for 6, 445 for 6. Wanted to work up to around a top set -1. I'm not trying to hit any huge AMRAPs this first introductory training cycle, but I do want to keep the training intensity up at least a little bit. Now I do have to go back and look at my programming and start to reintroduce a little bit more training volume into this introductory cycle because I'm really not getting in the number of reps that I should be. But I am going to make those corrections and start to implement a little bit higher training volume. It'll be pretty light submax volume to begin with, but ultimately I think that doing a higher training volume is going to help me build a base that is going to help me through my intense cycles leading into this next upcoming meet. So I need to do a little bit better job of building a base. I am going to continue to do a top set, but I'm not going to be shooting for rep PRs or anything like that. This was a little bit harder than I wanted to work. I know it didn't look that difficult, but I was really breaking down at the end of that set, and that's a little bit harder than I wanted to work on that particular session, but overall, not a big deal, not that big of an issue. I certainly didn't miss any reps or feel like I was in danger of missing any reps, so I got in some good squat work. It's the best my squat has felt since the last meet. The numbers are pretty comparable to what I was doing before. Again, it wasn't as easy as a lot of the work that I've been doing prior to that last meet, so it will take a little bit of work for me to get my squat back, but it was feeling okay. I am going to be pulling twice a week. I know conventional wisdom says not to engage in high-frequency deadlifting because the deadlift is a lift best developed on an infrequent rather than a frequent basis, and it doesn't respond as well to frequency, and that's largely true, but if you look at higher frequency deadlifting programs that either have you deadlifting twice a week or 3 times a week or whatever, generally they have one of two qualities that make them viable as programs. They either have you engaging in really light submax work for very low RPE sets, and usually this is in the form of speed training or dynamic effort training, or they have you pulling from a more biomechanically advantageous position on your second day or your third day or whatever, and that would be pulling from blocks. So this isn't terribly taxing as a partial range of motion movement. It's actually pretty easy for me to bang out sets of 10 with these. I'm just really trying to work on my lockout and work on engaging my glutes and pushing my hips forward, and I'm really trying to fatigue the muscles involved in my lockout. And so I think that as a higher frequency approach to deadlifting, this will work fine. I know that seems kind of stupid since I was dealing with so many SI joint recurring issues my last training cycle, but I really do feel like if I limit the range of motion on this second day, I'm going to be able to supplement with more work without aggravating that issue. And SI joint felt great. It didn't bother me at all. If it starts to bother me on these block pulls, I really need to stop. But I think the blocks are just too high. It's not the same plane of movement. I'm able to get my hips further back. It doesn't stress my SI joint nearly as much, or even at all, like pulling off the floor does. So that's going to be my approach to deadlifting this training cycle. Higher volume, submax, lower RPE work, at least for the first cycle on one session, and then block pulls on the other one. Did some feet up pause benching. These felt okay. Worked up to what was pretty close to a top set, 260 for 3. That's a 3-rep PR for me by default. I am pretty weak on these, but you know what? I feel like I'm going to get better as the weeks go on, and when I put my feet down and bench competition style again, it'll be really interesting to see if it helps carry over, if these help carry over to that style. Anyway, keep checking in. I will have more videos for you very soon.